We live in exciting times, scary sometimes, but pretty exciting. And I want to share with you about the reasons I think you should be looking at AI, even if you don't like it, even more so to learn how to understand it. And I want to talk about something that we all know, but it's possibly just as bad when it comes to privacy and scams and deception, and that is our beloved email. Back in the 90s, when I started using the internet, I had a card, a business card with email on it. And a lot of my time was spent when people looked at my card, for those who looked, what is this? What is email? And I barely understood it. I just would explain, well, it's a way that I can go onto a computer and someone else, if they've got an email address, I can send them a message and they can be somewhere else. It's not an SMS and it's not a phone call and I'm not there. It was fantastic. But now, if you have a look, who hasn't got an email address if they're on the internet? You pretty much need one to get online. And your email address is getting tied to a lot of things you're doing. But email also is incredibly dangerous. And I say this because if people think AI has a problem with privacy and data, sending your details, personal details via email is just as bad. There are so many scams, malware, email phishing, viruses, and it is still one of the main things that people end up getting into trouble with, particularly with all that software, ransomware and things like that that comes via an email. So I tell people frequently, do not send your credit card details via email, don't send your license, don't send your personal details, and do not open anything from anyone if you are unsure. And I still get almost fooled. I look at things and they are so creatively, beautifully done, and I still have to really look at it, sometimes download it and open it in somewhere safe to look at what is it. Is it a real email? So I'm thinking, if I'm very technical and I can still get tricked, how far have we come? Because people are scared of AI, but they're still using email to send off information that is just as devastating when they get scammed. So let's come back to AI and the relationship there. People over time have learned how to use email and have learned to be a little bit more cautious. That's what happens when you get educated. And often it'll be through a bit of pain. You might have had something happen to your computer, but you learned. AI is a little bit different though, in the context of it can do so much. It can answer you. An email is just when you send something out, but when you've got AI, you ask it a question and you get an answer back. And sometimes it might be a lie, and if you don't know how to use AI, you're more likely to get tricked because you don't know how to ask the questions on how to tell me the truth, or how to fact check yourself. A great way to start using AI, if you want to learn and you're fearful or unsure of how to talk to it, is find a document that you've wanted to have answers to that might not be clear, or one of those really well-meaning friends who you know on social media who has sent you via Messenger a PDF file, and it's a good one, but it's 450 pages long and they want your opinion, or you found a link and you're thinking, okay, let me just have a cup of tea and I'm going to go through that 450 page document and be able to tell you what it's all about. If you're interested in something, AI is one of the best tools to help you understand it. And when you upload a document to AI, you can then have a series of questions you ask to summarize it, speak to you like you're a 10-year-old, find the good points about it, find the danger points about it, find out how it's going to affect you as a person in your day-to-day life, particularly if it's legislation, all right? There's a lot of documents going around that are quite complex that you're never going to read them all, but you'd like to have a little bit more knowledge about. So when someone talks to you about it, you don't feel like a total idiot. I feel like a total idiot frequently, so therefore I'm happy to use AI to answer those questions and give me a bit of grounding. And if you have a look at Google, now when I started using the internet, there was no Google at all. 8 years before Google came along. And what I found was Google is, well, how do we find things without Google? Google's become such like a tool for dependency on businesses that they survive or die without being on Google. And now Google's made a business out of it by making you pay to be found. But nobody knew about it, and I would not trust Google. I trust AI over Google any day, because Google has built its business on your information. So when people talk about privacy and data about AI, I don't know why they're not talking about privacy and data with Google, okay? But you hear a lot of this, you get scared about things that are very new and you don't know how to deal with. But my mother is 85 years old, God bless that woman. And she tells me, I'm listening to some stories. I said, okay, yep, I'm getting AI to read them out to me. And I said, okay, they're AI stories, AI wrote them. And I said, what do you think of them? And she said, they're great. I just like listening to them. She doesn't care that it's a long book by someone who has already crafted something. And I'm not being mean, but that is the fact of how things are. She doesn't need to have those books. She just wants to have a little bit of light entertainment and reading, and nothing too heavy. And an AI book will do her. Is it good or is it bad? No, it just is, and we can't change that. But she knows when she's listening to an AI book, okay? And yet there are people who watch these YouTube channels, particularly a lot of the doctor ones. Dr. Berg, he's real, but a lot of the ones giving advice, and they are literally digital avatars with an AI script reading out something, and of course they'll say this is only for entertainment purposes, but the feeds, the conversations within those particular YouTube videos are people asking questions, thinking that they are talking to a real person, and they'll get no response because it's actually, they can't, because it's all automated, AI driven. And it frustrates me a little bit because some of these people are looking for hope. That is a deception to me. And the amount of people, over half the people using social media, do not know that they're being delivered an AI digital video. They just see something, and sometimes I think it can be so extreme, like the man picking up a polar bear and taking it home and feeding it, and it becomes a pet or something. It is just so insane that I'm wondering sometimes, do people really believe that? I can't be sure, but it gets millions of people watching it. So, but those who are a little bit smarter are thinking, well, I'm not wasting my time with AI, or they may be happy about seeing the cat and puppy videos that are AI generated that are just fun. So when you understand and know how things work, it's less likely to be daunting, because you can make a decision and you do not have to put in personal information about yourself to start using AI to get to learn it. So why not go and grab yourself one of those well-meaning documents that your friend has sent that's 300 plus pages, upload it to AI and ask a couple of questions. That's a start. But I'll be going through more videos at a later date. And by the way, my name's Nina. My channel, my relationship with, and it is AI today. I hope you've learned a little bit and learn that learning something helps strip away the fear. And as my father used to say, when you understand how, the magic is gone. So let's remove some of the magic, and you don't have as much fear. You need respect, but not fear. Bye for now.